My thoughts on generative AI being used in Call of Duty. No. Just why is this even a thing? Like with the new Black Ops 6, apparently at least one of the zombies maps, the six-fingered Santa, and some various like emblems or calling cards, and now even voice lines are being generated, or I should say pooped out by artificial intelligence, and this is just why? Like, why is this company, one of the richest game companies in existence, Activision, whose parent company is Microsoft, who's one of the titans, like one of the three big titans of the gaming industry, using AI instead of hiring actual people? There is no excuse for this. All right, this is just inexcusable. That this company is so greedy, they would rather just use AI than hire actual people. I think the worst of these cases is with the voice acting, which is why a bunch of lines were pulled because the voice actors were like, hey, you do not have our permission to use generative AI to recreate our voice. And they had to Activision had to recast the same voice actors with a different contract saying that they could not use AI for their voices. And good for those voice actors, by the way. And I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I am not okay with my voice being replicated via AI without my permission. I think the majority of us can agree on that. We don't want random people going around just using our voices without our consent. How would you like it if, I don't know, somebody just took your voice and, I don't know, made a sentence with a bunch of slang words, they used your voice to like say that you were cussing someone out or saying something that could potentially get you thrown in jail, like saying I'm gonna off you, using AI to do something like that. You wouldn't be very happy. So I completely understand why these voice actors and actresses are like, yo, do not use our voice. Just no, don't use AI to modify it. And the fact that this billion-dollar company is being so cheap, they won't even they're not even wanting to hire voice actors, is just beyond pathetic. I'm going to point to a game called Vincent Lade's Jawbreaker. It came out in July, I think. It was one of the best games of the year, in my opinion. And it was a one-man indie project. And it has maybe like 8 voice actors, I think, somewhere between 8 to 12. They are some of the most talented, gifted voice actors and actresses I have ever heard in Vincent Lade's Jawbreaker. And that game was a one-man indie project that was $15 on launch. If Vincent Lade Games, a one-man indie project, can afford to hire some of the best voice actors I've ever heard, Activision can afford to do it. There is literally no excuse here. And you can't tell me that AI taking people's jobs is a good thing. I had a very good friend of mine. She took like a really expensive, really long course so that she could be certified to do a certain job. And then like right after she got her certification, AI made that job obsolete. I don't want to get into the details specifically, but she basically went through like a year-long process, spent a bunch of money, and as soon as she gets certified, AI makes her job obsolete. You cannot tell me that this is good for us. And on the six-fingered Santa, it's like, just why? Why Activision? I remember one time I spoke with a very, very talented graphic designer. I don't remember the exact price she said that she charged for like a single image, but it was less than $40. I want to say it was $25. It could have been 30, but Activision's like, nah, we'd rather save our $25, even though to us that's the equivalency of like half a penny to the ordinary Joe. It's like why Activision? And I can almost give you a 100% money back satisfaction guaranteed that if they had said, "Hey, Call of Duty fans, we're calling on you, make us a picture, of a zombie Santa for a chance to have it be featured in our game." Just all of the artists in the Call of Duty community would have just been all over it like, "Hey, use my picture, art made by actual humans. I think people would have been willing to have their art in that game for free. May just have their name in the credits just so they could be like, hey, I technically helped make a Call of Duty game. But Activision's like, nah, we'll just use AI instead. Like, why Activision? And the same thing goes for like the emblems and the calling cards. It's like, I can pretty much guarantee you if they had just asked the fans, be like, hey, if you guys want your name featured in the credits on the new Call of Duty game, send us some ideas and you might be featured. That would have cost them nothing, all right, and that would have made the fan base happy, beyond happy, and no AI would have been used. Some people might have been upset, like, oh man, they should pay us. But I think most Call of Duty fans would just be tickled to death at the idea of something like that. And on the topic of zombie maps, and I believe multiplayer maps as well, being made in part or in total with AI, I'm not 100% sure. It's just why. It's like, why Activision? Like the greatest Call of Duty games of all time, whatever your favorite is, be it World at War, Modern Warfare 2, the original, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, these were all made, to the best of my knowledge, with 100% human hands. It's like Activision has the manpower to do it, they have the money to do it. Again, they're one of the biggest titans of the industry. If Tripwire Interactive, who's a smaller company and to the best of my knowledge is not using AI, can afford to make a crap ton of maps for Killing Floor, Activision can afford to do it. If I can't remember the name of it, Wales Interactive, I think, if they can use actual humans to if they can pay actual humans to make the maps for Skur Ritual, to the best of my knowledge, none of that was made with AI. Activision can afford to do it, but Activision's like, nah, we're greedy and we don't like people, so we're just going to use AI to crap it out. It's really sad, and it's really sad to just see people accepting this. Like, okay, it's like, dude, people are literally losing their jobs over this kind of stuff. All right, again, I had a very good friend of mine she lost her job because of AI. It's like, how is this a good thing? How is this supposed to help us? And to see it seeping into video games, one of my gaming is one of my biggest passions. It's one of my hobbies, and to see something like that being corrupted by this corporate greed. Well, I mean, there's been corporate greed in it for a long time, but this is just a completely new level. This really just saddens me, and I don't know. I don't know really. Especially when you take into consideration that people will like make custom maps for like Black Ops 3, and apparently some people still make World at War maps, believe it or not, for free. All right, so there are humans who are willing to do this for free, who are willing to make these Call of Duty maps for free. Now, I think if Activision was to use their maps, they should pay them. But just the fact that there are people who are willing to do these things for free just because it's something that they love doing, and Activision would rather use AI, that's just disgusting to me. That is just absolutely disgusting. And it's really one of the big reasons I think that indie games are thriving, because AI cannot create anything. It can only copy what it has seen. It has no creativity, it has no passions. Looking at a game like, I don't know, Stray, I would say that was a very creative game, and to the best of my knowledge, AI was not used in making it. The same goes for like Squirrel with a Gun. These games, very creative, very innovative, and this is something that artificial intelligence is simply physically incapable of doing because it has no creativity, it has no soul, it has no passion. So things made by human hands are always going to be better, in my opinion. So, I had zero plans on buying Black Ops 6 already, and this just further solidified it. It's very clear to me that Activision doesn't want a lot of us as their customers because there are a lot of people who are against artificial intelligence, like this. So it's very clear that Activision doesn't want us as their customers, so let's not be their customers. And I already know there's going to be some people in the comments like, oh no, man, AI is the future, you need to embrace it. Yeah, I don't exactly embrace the possibility of having my identity stolen with AI. Thank you very much. You can have your identity stolen with AI, though. If you want to do that, hey, that's your life, not mine. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I mean, do you agree with me and think that AI should stay out of video games? Because I definitely think it should. Or generative I should say, because technically, like, various enemies in video games are technically AI, but I mean, like, the part where games are being developed. Do you think that needs to stay out of gaming, or are you cool with it? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? But I think almost all of us can agree that Activision just sucks and they're a very greedy company. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see. But anyways, that's all for me for today, folks. For anyone new to my channel, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games. So maybe feel free to check out some of my other content if that sounds interesting. Always remember that Jesus loves you all very much. Have a blessed day. Peace.